Let's get this thing started. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Kal Halal Yam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Hakwadash. All right, Barak, bless, Atah, you, Yahweh, the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name of His only begotten Son, Rakah Hakwadash, which is the Holy Spirit. All right. Double honors to the apostle elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Sha'ak Kazapanya, back at it again with another lesson. All right. Just left the gym and the spirit, I'm on fire for this thing, man. All right. Trying to feed the sheep. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I fear the Lord, the Most High. All right. So the title of this is that the Egyptians are men and not God, not power. Because God, all right, depending on where you look at it in the Hebrew, was translated, all right, from Alahayim, all right? Alahayim is the plural terminology of power, all right? Power being Allah, all right? Where the daughter language, Arabic, which is Shemitic, all right, got their, that Islamic understanding from Hebrew. But anyway, to continue. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men. All right, who are the Egyptians? Okay, now remember, this thing of ours is by faith. All right, the just shall live by faith. All right, as we get into the scriptures in the book of Amos, Yahweh said that matter of fact, let's get that real quick. And then we continue. Because everything shall be done in decency and in order. And one of the main things is to edify. Edify meaning to build up. Okay? Let's get it. Here's the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. All right? Because there's a lot of mysteries that goes into these scriptures, man. And if you're not a prophet, he's not going to reveal the secret unto you if you're not serving him in his perfect will. Because the Most High basically commands us to be a living sacrifice for him, especially if he sent his son to die for us as a sacrifice, all right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1. We're going to start at verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. Right. So when you perceive in your spirit that a group of men have been set up by Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, all right, and their counsel, all right, meaning their holy conversation is rooted in wisdom, all right, one will attain, all right, unto and increase their learning by listening to them. Right? Verse 6, to understand a proverb and the interpretation. All right. One can read a proverb, but you have to interpret it correctly. And remember, it says in the New Testament, paraphrasing, for there is nothing a private interpretation, man. All right. There's one gospel, one body, one spirit, all right, one doctrine, right? The words of the wise and their dark sayings. Okay. So there's a lot of dark sayings in here. All right. Secrets, mysteries, and one has to understand it. So when we go back to Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1, when it says, now the Egyptians are men and not God, right? We broke down God. All right. So the Egyptians is a mystery unto who they are today. All right. And the Egyptians are, right, the so-called people living in America. America is spiritually Egypt, all right? That reincarnated, regenerated spirit of oppression and slavery, okay? And to prove that, we're going to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 11, and we're going to start at verse 7 when it's talking about, the two witnesses, which are, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, all right? And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast was the beast, the ancient revived Roman Empire, all right, that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit, shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. Who is it talking about, right? Them prophets. And their dead bodies, they're not literally dead. Go to Ezekiel 37, all right? We were spiritually dead, all right? We didn't have the breath of life in us, all right? Shall lie in the street of the great city, all right? Notice that, see? Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So that means that there's a great city that has the same spirit as Sodom and Egypt. Okay? So now when we go to chapter 17 in Revelation, verse 5, we're going to do verse 5, or we're going to do... We're going to do 18. Matter of fact, we'll start at verse 4. And it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, see, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. All right, so there was a woman. The woman is represented of America. And why is it America? Because it was a mystery. America the name wasn't even established yet when John got this revelation. All right. So we jump down to verse 18. And the woman, see, now it's breaking it down who the woman is. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So now we see that that woman is a great city. All right. So when we go back to Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, and the dead body shall lie in the street of that great city. Okay. So Babylon the Great is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Okay, so now that we know that, Babylon goes back to the word Babal in the Hebrew, which goes back to meaning confusion. Okay, so going back to Isaiah chapter 31 now. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. Okay, because people are worshiping these Egyptians, which is Americans, right, as if they're the most high, as if they like their full loyalty and trust is in this system, man. All right, taking the yob, all right, the jump shot, Vanessa, okay, not understanding that, you know, our people was basically notorious always to go down into Egypt for help. But a lot of the times, the Most High didn't even tell us to go there. Some of the times, should I say. All right, we just leaned on our own understanding, which the scriptures tell us not to do. So it goes on to say, when Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall all fail together. See? So those that help you and those that ask for help in this society is both going to fail according to the scriptures, man. All right? And in order to solidify that America is spiritually Egypt, well, damn, I spent it. But I had $1. But everybody knows that there's a pyramid on the back of the dollar bill, man. Okay, what does that represent? Slavery, man. The I represents the elite, the international banking families at the top. All right, and everybody else in a certain order is at the bottom. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 36, verse 6. Lo, Thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. See? So if you trust, who's the Pharaoh, you see what I'm saying, of Egypt. Pharaohs represent that king, that ruler, all right, of that civilization. Remember, Egypt is America. So our ruler would be a so-called president, okay? And remember, the presidents are selected, not elected, and they're just puppets anyway for the international banking families, okay? So when one, looks for or trusts in what they're saying, oh, it's safe and effective, this and that and the third, do this, do that, right? That staff is going to break, all right? Because remember, people, elderly used to walk around with staffs, all right, to lean on, because their ability to walk straight has been impaired, right? And that is a place of support, okay? So, what we're going into right now, your SNAP, your EBTs, your PPP loans, right? Your STEMIs, okay? All of these things, government handouts, all right? People rely on this for support rather than, having faith in the Most High to help them in their times of trouble, okay? And Yahweh was basically saying that he's going to break that reed, man. So that lets you know that the Most High is going to purposely, through his spirit and power on the left-hand side, crash this whole economy. Because a lot of people lean on the stock market, cryptocurrency, businesses, so on and so forth. All right. Now we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 29, verse 6. And it reads, "And all the inhabitants of Egypt shall know that I am Yahweh, because they have been a staff of reed to the house of Israel. When they took hold of thee by thy hand, thou didst break and rend all their shoulder. And when they leaned upon thee, thou breakest and madest all their loins to be a stand. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring a sword upon thee and cut off man and beast out of thee." See? So the Most High, all right, is letting know the inhabitants of Egypt, which is everybody that dwelled in America, that he exists, because that's what Yahweh means. He exists. Yah, he, Hawa exists. All right. And how they have been a staff of reed, all right, a support system to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Okay. And then when we took them by the hand to help us while in this captivity, which was really divine punishment from the Most High, all right, the Most High is going to break it. Salakia, all his hair getting in me, my nose and all that. What's the name? He's going to basically make Egypt bare. That's why I said, and made us all their loins to be a stand. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring a sword upon thee. Right. So a lot of destruction by the sword, all right, is going to come upon Egypt, man. Come upon America. Okay. And it's going to come quickly, man. Very, very, very quickly. All right. So at the end of the day, we coming into a quick time of how the Most High is going to destroy this place, man. All right. He's going to destroy this place with the wicked destruction. All right. And everybody that trusts in the system and thinking that things are just going to continually go on and on and on. All right. You're going to be sadly mistaken, man. All right. The Most High is not playing. Like, for instance, earlier when I was listening to a podcast, not this, it's on topic, the talking about how in the middle of October, is it the Secretary of Treasury came out and said that October like 14th, you know, basically America's gonna run out of money, even though the the the, the Federal Reserve notes is not backed on anything, because you know the Federal Reserve is not even a federal entity; it's a private corporation, and the fact that it's a lose-lose situation because the Democrats and the Republicans are fighting once each other, which Yahushua said, if house be divided against house, how shall it stand, right? So we already know that this place is going to fall. However, um, because they're fighting on, raising this debt ceiling with the impending government shutdown, okay, it's getting to a high point that they will not come to an agreement, a bipartisan agreement. All right. And then there's two outcomes. All right. If that bill does pass and they do increase the debt ceiling in order to spend money, right, which would be in the so-called Democrats' favor or their push or agenda, they're going to use all that money that they're allowed to use and to keep spending, which is going to do what? Continue to circulate more money. All right. And everybody who has some type of literacy in finances and world economics know that an increased circulation of money is what uh causes inflation. All right. Khan, Shalom, Akia. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Ataza clock. All right. So what's the name? And that's on the left hand side. So now if the Democrats, what's the name, get that bill to raise the debt ceiling, the economy gonna crash anyway, because we have a thing called the everything bubble that's gonna pop because we already at 30-some trillion. Okay, and people are not working, especially with the pressure of so many people. Like, fuck it, we ain't going to work because the devil coming with great wrath, pushing these mandate, these draconian measures, right? So that's the lose situation on one end, and on the other option, the lose situation is if that doesn't get passed, there's going to be a government shutdown, all right, which 1 million plus federal employees going to get furloughed, all right, and have to work but not going to get paid, all right, while uh money is going to be not wasted. What's the term? It's not going to be used, all right, in a certain way because the government is not spending because it has reached its spending limit. All right, so it's a lose-lose situation. At the end of the day, the economy gonna crash. All right, let's get into the book of Zephaniah. All right, so all of this is gonna cause that lack of bread, that famine, great woe upon the earth, man. Scourges upon the earth, as it says in the book of Second Esdras. Things is about to get real tight. All right, and that's why I was saying, where was it? Matter of fact, I read it earlier. Let's go here. Talking about Egypt. Oh yeah, right here, right? The book of Isaiah, chapter 19. We're gonna start at, damn, this is a good chapter too. Yeah, we're gonna start at verse 1 and 2. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. What is that cloud? All right, the chariots. All right, with these ignorant people out here that still don't know, which the Mossad gave them a block, is they call them UFOs, UAPs. All right, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right. So all these idols in Egypt, which Spirit, Babylon the Great is spiritually Saddam in Egypt. All right, it's going to be destroyed. Yahweh shall come and destroy all that. And remember, heart is the mind. So the mentality, all right, of Egypt, which is really like the image of the beast. All right, because it's that same ancient revived Roman Empire. All right, and it's going to melt. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to melt away. Now, notice that word melt because it's going to be intercontinental ballistic missiles going to destroy this place. Verse 2, and I will set Egyptians against the Egyptians. So there's going to be a civil war, man. All right, your heathens and your Edomites that have an ideology on one side versus heathens and Edomites on ideology on the other side. Americans, man. All right. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Now we're going to jump down to verse 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what Yahweh of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt. So the Most High is through Isaiah is like, we're the wise men of Egypt, right? Let them tell you what's to go on. Now, if you ask, these Egyptians, these Idumeans, all right, these Babylonians, all right, these Edomites, what's going to happen to America? You feel me? Some of them know that this place is destroyed. Other than don't, but they don't know how it's going to come because at the end of the day, the Most High only revealed His secrets unto the prophets. So we have a sure word of prophecy of what's to happen unto Babylon the Great, while they don't. Okay. Verse 13, the princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Naph are deceived. Now, Zoan and Naph are cities of Egypt. All right. So these higher people, all right, become fools and are deceived because they thought America was going to go in one type of way when it's really purposed for another way. Okay. They have also seduced Egypt, right? So they have seduced the people in America as if things is going to go back to normal, right? Isn't that a seduce? Yeah, do this, do that, right? Coercing you that in thought that things is going to go into their manner when it's not, because everything that's going to happen to America is written and is prophetic. Even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. All right. Because all 12 tribes is here in America. This is where we staying at, right? Verse 14, Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. Yeah, America got, a perverted spirit here, man. It's twisted, it's contorted. That's what perversion means, all right? And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, right? So the Most High put a spirit, upon America, upon Babylon of confusion, yeah. And every work that is wrought in here, all right, is like a drunken man in his vomit. You look at a drunken man in his vomit, you see what I'm saying? You like, oh man, yo, you just still bugging out. What's wrong with him? You feel me? Those that have the eyes to see, when they look at America, they like, yo, come on, man, this place is wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself together. Even though we know America never gonna get themselves together, right? Verse 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head of the tail, branch, or rush may do. Right. So that's how you know right there. All right. All the sown places is gonna become unsown. There ain't gonna be no work out here, man. All right. Unemployment rate's gonna skyrocket as we seeing right now. All right. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid of and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. All right. So at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is doing all of this. Okay. He's doing everything unto America to put it in that position for destruction. All right. And all of this that's being, the CBDCs, which is the central bank digital currencies, all right, is going to lead, all right, to that Bismarcky, man. All right, to the Marky Mark. All right. All right. That digital all. All right. That revelation. What did Elder Pastor Hall say? Apocalyptos 13 y what was it? Y 16 y 17, right? Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17, man. All right. So, um, and the Bible talks about those that take that anyway. Okay, so I hope that was edifying, man, to the hopeful elect. All right, to not trust on this place, Egypt, anything that they tell you, because the scriptures say never trust our enemy. All right, just as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness, man. Okay, so continue to fight. We almost out of here, man. All right, Barakatayah, Barakatayah Shai. And with that, I say Shalom.